What's good, yo? What's good? Your boy Mike Sears, Speak Your Clout podcast, man. Busy fucking night for me. Third episode. I ain't do content for a long time, like a week and a half, so I want to keep this shit fresh. Got my brother from another mother, man. Goon Clout Gallery, 5 piece, Goon Management. Larry King of the motherfucking underground. Look the motherfucking Goon.
Bum, bum, bum. What up, bro? I was actually gonna do this review too because I haven't done shit on my channel in forever either. Like literally forever. But yeah, when
Uh,
you hit me up, I was like, hell yeah, I was already planning on it, so hell yeah.
yeah. Biggest hard buff I know besides Steel City Dahmer, so it's only right, man. Have my brother Luke on here with me. And we're talking about Halloween Ends, the newly released movie that dropped. I think it was on the 14th.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
Yes, yeah.
Yesterday, a couple days ago, yeah.
And man, oh man. Okay, this is like the third in the whole Blumhouse series. The 2018 one, decent. I rocked with it. I like some of the kills. Halloween Kills was last year. I liked the kills in that, but not a fucking good movie at all. The Halloween, Evil Dies Tonight, and that fucking Tommy Doyle character. I want to strangle. I hated him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's so corny. But yeah. Halloween Ends right off the bat. Luke, first impressions. We'll break down some scenes, whatever you want to do. What's your
Yeah, I
thoughts?
mean, okay. Are we gonna get into spoilers? Or do we
Yeah,
want
this is all spoilers. I don't
Okay,
give a fuck.
okay. I just want to clarify for people who are watching, we're going to get into spoilers.
Yeah.
So, as soon as I finished watching this movie, it reminded me of Friday the 13th Part 5 because
Yep.
it's most of the kills are not from Michael Myers. Like, I didn't count, but there aren't many. It's mostly this guy who acts well, I guess we'll get into the opening scene. The movie opens with this guy who's going to be a babysitter for this little kid, and I guess this little kid is like a handful, as they'd say, and he's
Jeremy.
like running around the house. And there are cool little touches, like in the beginning when he's babysitting the kid on the TV. They're watching The Thing remake from 1982, and in the original Halloween, the kids are watching the original Thing. So there are little things that are like in the movie that are like nods
Yeah.
to. There's one scene that takes place in a grocery store, and if you listen to the music that's playing in the grocery store, it's like one of the themes. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it's one of the themes from one of the previous Halloween films that's just kind of playing in the background. But anyway, so the parents are like, oh, don't give him any candy and no horror movies, and because he's afraid of Michael Myers and all this shit. And so you think, oh, okay. And there's all this stuff leading up to, ooh, is Michael in the house? Did Michael get in there? Where's the boy? So what really happens is the boy locks the dude in a closet. And there's a lot of with horror movies, you have to like suspend reality a lot of times, but there's a point where it's too much. And I think this movie like crossed that line where like there's too many like weird, stupid, like
a lot of stupid shit in here.
Yeah, a lot of stupid, like why would that happen type thing. And I'll get into what I'm talking about. He's yelling at the kid like, hey, let me out. And as soon as the parents open the door, he yells, I'm gonna kill you, like that.
I'm gonna kill you, Jeremy.
Yeah. And he kicks open the door. The door knocks the little kid. He falls over the banister and falls like 5 stories. I don't know. It's a huge fucking house.
Crazy, yeah.
4 stories, 3. I don't know. But he like basically like kind of splats. Like he like scorpions when he fucking hits the ground. The movie's pretty brutal. Like the kills are cool. If you're into that, like it's a lot like Halloween Kills. Like there's a lot of kind of shit like that. But then the parents come in right as the kid fucking smacks right in the fucking middle of the
terrible
room. And then so that's how the movie kicks off. And we have this new damaged character. I think his name's Corey
Cunningham.
So, yeah, he's like this. He's basically the lead character in this movie. It's not even Michael. It's this guy Corey. And obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis returns as Laurie Strode, and her granddaughter returns from the previous film, and she's kind of raising her as her own. And this is another one of those stupid parts where her granddaughter is like a nurse at the hospital, and
Yeah.
for some dumb reason, she falls in love with this Corey guy, which makes
Yeah.
really no fucking sense. She like falls deep in love
Head
with the
over
dude,
heels with the fucking
head
nerd.
over heels in the span of like 2 days, a day. It's it's like
No,
one day.
no part real corny when they're like, she's like Jamie Lee Curtis, Lloyd Schwartz fucking with the pump, and she's like, "You gotta grab your tits and just show me you want a
Oh,
man."
I
I was like,
know,
"Oh,
I
that made
know,
me fucking cringe."
I know it. It reminded me of like a Rob Zombie line that Rob Zombie would write or
Yes.
something like that. But it's not the worst. Like I've seen a lot of people saying it's like fucking terrible, and I didn't think it was fucking terrible, but it's like I said, it reminds me of Friday the 13th Part 5, where
Yeah,
like
Simon
the
Jason.
the Corey character finds Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Michael down in the sewers, and like is like mentored by Michael or something. Like
Yeah,
they
like
they, they have like a connection. Like what they say is basically he goes down there because he's getting bullied by these school kids, which was another fucking dumb part of the movie. Like
Wax, not even intimidating.
why is that one girl hanging out with all those punks? They do that in every fucking movie I've ever seen. There's always the one kid who's like, "Oh
Are
no,
you all right?
we shouldn't beat him up. We shouldn't beat him." Why is that kid hanging out with them fucking assholes? It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
None.
But anyway, so he gets bullied by these kids and he tumbles down into the sewers, and Michael like reaches through the fucking thing and stares into his eyes, right? And then that was supposed to be like the transfer of evil was supposed to happen in that instance. And so there's like this dichotomy between Laurie Strode and Corey, where Laurie has fought it all these years and Corey is succumbing to it. And there's a scene at the end of the movie where he's like, "You should have just gave in to the evil," and all this shit like that. It's really kind of corny, but so the whole movie is this Corey guy taking revenge on people in the town.
Basically.
The DJ, the bullies. Um, who else does he kill?
Mom.
His girlfriend's coworker and her boss, the doctor. But actually, Michael killed that one chick, didn't he? Because there's part where Corey goes there, and then Michael shows up.
Corey killed the doctor with the scarecrow.
Corey killed the doctor, but then Michael came and killed the nurse, the redhead nurse. Yeah, which he killed her in the same way that he killed the dude in the first movie. I can't remember his name. Her boyfriend.
Yep, with the fucking glasses.
Stuck him right into the wall. Just slouched hung on the wall. So another kind of homage. The kills are kind of cool. There's especially one really fucking brutal one where like he like takes a blowtorch to a dude's face.
I love that part because I hate that fucking kid.
Yeah, that part was brutal as fuck.
When he stomped the innocent bitch on the gate.
That part was brutal as fuck too. What other kills were there that was crazy? Those were the two.
DJ was fucking crazy.
Dude, he goes up to this DJ who was talking shit to him earlier, which is why he kills him.
I'll fuck y'all up.
Yeah, he goes up behind him and he just starts slamming his head on the DJ booth table. And then he like pulls it up and the dude's jaw is like dislocated. It's all hanging down and shit, gnarly. And his tongue is like kind of hanging out. So he grabs a pair of scissors and just cuts his fucking tongue off.
The tongue's on the record spinning.
And they show it. They show the whole thing. It's fucking brutal. Like I'm kind of I watched it on Peacock. I didn't see it in the theater. So like I don't know if that's in the theater version because there's like a lot of graphic violence in the movie. That I mean, they did that in Halloween Ends or Halloween Kills as well. So maybe somehow they got by it. Like the blowtorch kill was kind of cool how they shot it because like it was out of focus, but like the camera was like kind of zoomed in on the helpless girl, but you could still see what was going on like in the foreground.
Stacy's dead.
Yeah,
you're dead too.
Oh yeah, he smacked. Yeah, that. God damn it. It's the same. I don't really like where they've taken Laurie Strode's character. I never liked it from the very beginning of Halloween. And this is the main thing I haven't liked about this series is that they retconned Halloween 2, which is maybe my favorite Halloween film.
Yeah, hard.
Uh, because I mean, I don't really care that they're brother and sister, which they're not in this series.
Yeah,
But Michael doesn't really have a driving force anymore. He's just kind of
I
like
know.
killing indiscriminately. And there's no, especially in this movie. In this movie, she does see Michael, but Michael, it does not until the very end of the movie where Michael and her have an interaction. As far as I remember, I don't think they had an interaction any other time till the
No, they
very
didn't.
end.
Yeah. There's a part when like Mike's in the fucking sewer, and Corey goes there. It's like, you got something I need, and he fucking whoops his ass. Just bullies Mike and takes his mask.
Yeah,
What
I
the,
forgot about that part.
what the fuck?
Which doesn't make any sense
Mike would kill
because
that kid. Let's keep it 1,000.
there's other parts in the movie where he just strongmans people. Like the
Yes.
chick, he lifts her up. Michael lifts her up by the neck and holds her against that. Ain't no normal person doing that kind of shit. And then like when he grabs the dude's throat when he's in the sewer the very first time. So
Yeah.
like why Corey can all of a sudden beat Michael Myers' ass,
And
I
take
don't
his
know.
mask.
And take his mask.
Scully, take his mask.
Punk him, and take his mask. That's like, damn. I mean, Michael gets the last laugh there, but like,
oh yeah.
I mean, maybe you could argue that Michael allowed it to happen
Because he had mercy on him. He choked him and looked into his eyes and all that weirdo shit.
Yeah, and maybe he was like thinking like I'm passing on the evil to this guy so I can live on.
Look at it that way too. Yeah.
Maybe, but that's reading. I think that's reading too much into it, to be honest.
Word.
I could be wrong, but because it's not explicitly kind of like insinuated or whatever. And like at the very beginning of the movie, there's this weird scene where he just kills a hobo for like no reason, really. I mean, I guess there's a reason he's kind of attacking him, but it's just like, well, I don't know.
Go back in there.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Shakes him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can get into the final part. Do you have anything to talk about with the rest of the movie?
Yeah, I got some stuff to talk about. I hate the motherfucking, like you said, Mr.
I don't know if I'm frozen or if Mike's frozen right now.
Lost the internet for a second.
Okay. So you were frozen. I wasn't sure if it was me or if it was you. So
Yeah,
I was like,
it was just spinning and shit. It was spinning.
Oh yeah, I hate
But I want
shit.
to say, I hate the Allison and Corey, like, the love dynamic in here is so
like
fucking
we said,
cringy.
It happens in one day, as far as I know, maybe two.
Probably two tops.
One, maybe two, because I guess there is a part where they kind of go to sleep or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he goes. There's a couple scenes in this movie too where Laurie and Corey, like I said, the whole movie is kind of the dichotomy between the two of them. And there's a scene where Laurie is like meets her. I don't know who that guy. I don't remember who that guy is that's like flirting with her in the grocery store or whatever.
The cop from like the first one or some shit.
Yeah. She's like flirting with him, and so she walks out of the grocery store with this big smile on her face, right? And then this like nasty ass bitch is outside, like, the fuck you smile for, bitch?
What you buy from the store?
Yeah, what you smiling for, bitch? And her friend's like sitting there because she got like fucked up from Michael Myers, and she's like, if you hadn't fucked with Michael, this wouldn't have happened to her, and da 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 da. So then all of a sudden it's like, boom, she's like back to fucking depressed ass Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happens to the Corey character where he's at a bar with that chick Rachel or whatever her name is, and he's like having a good old time. He goes to the bar, he gets a drink, and then he looks over and the kid's mom is sitting at the bar, and he's like, oh no. And then they have that, I mean, you can imagine how that conversation would go. And it was basically the same scene but with different characters, but it's played out the same way where they both like feel bad about it. I guess like what you're supposed to take out of that scene is like how Laurie handled it and how Corey handled it. It plays out exactly the same. So it's just kind of like replaying the same thing over again. And then eventually there's a face-off between Laurie Strode and Corey, because for some reason her stupid ass daughter wants to run away with this Corey guy, and she's like, oh, it can't happen. And then like he's Lori calls. I don't know why she does this. She calls in. I don't know. I don't know. Do you know why she does this? She pulls out a gun and she's like sitting at this desk
Called
and
a
like,
suicide.
yeah, she calls in a suicide, but I don't know why.
Because Corey was in the crib and she called to make him think that he shot himself. He shot a pumpkin. He thought it was a brain. So open the door and then she popped him. Remember?
Yeah, but why would she go through with calling for the suicide?
So the cops will come there, I guess. I
Yeah, I
don't
guess.
fucking
I
know.
don't know. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know why
Yeah,
she did that. But then the
yeah.
cops didn't even come for like.
The whole fucking fight.
Yeah, they didn't come until literally the very, very end.
Yeah.
Uh, and so yeah, then Corey comes in and like she shoots him and she's like trying to tell him to get away and everything. And then he stabs himself in the fucking throat.
If I can't have her, no one
And then
can.
I knew that this was gonna fucking happen. She pulls the knife out of his throat, and as she's pulling the knife out of his throat, her daughter or her granddaughter walks in through the front door and sees
Yeah.
her holding the knife, and I'm like,
What did you
man,
do?
I hate that. I hate that fucking trope in horror films when they do that shit, where the
Yeah.
person walks in like right at that moment. It's like, come on, dude.
I think she
Um,
did it.
so he's not dead yet though. And Lori like goes and she's like sobbing and shit, like she just fucking lost her granddaughter basically. And then old Michael Myers decides to show up
He shows
and
up.
finishes the job, basically kills Corey with a simple
Yeah.
neck snap.
Chokes his
That's it.
ass.
And then then we get the final battle, which is like this is basically the part of the movie that everybody says they liked.
I didn't.
I don't hate it. I did think it was really. There's this really weird scene. I think it's when they get to the junkyard, they do the Spider-Man body carry where they all lift Michael Myers up over
That
their
made
head.
me cringe. I don't know why.
Cringe too. I was like, they did that Spider-Man, bro. They lift him up over their head and they all like move him to the front of the line. It was. Oh my gosh. So what they do is, and I don't know what they call this machine. I don't know if it's just a junker or what it is.
Grinder? I don't fucking call it.
I've seen it before where they like crunch like I've
Car-
seen it. All kinds of crazy shit. Yeah.
Particles and shit, yeah.
But basically it annihilates whatever you put in there. And Lori gets up inside the thing. And like for a second I thought she was gonna fall into like but Lori pushes Michael in there and he just gets obliterated like into nothing. He's just fucking gone. And then that's pretty much the end of the movie. Like she goes home. Her granddaughter leaves town to get for a new beginning. And then the guy that was flirting with her comes back and she's like, "Oh, can we talk about the cherry blossoms and shit?" And then it does the and then I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna end right there. And then it did, and I was like, oh no, what are they gonna do? And then they just did the classic shot from the original Halloween where it's like dun, 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 and they like show the different rooms and shit. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They show like her living room, and the Michael mask is in the living room. I don't know if you noticed that. The Michael mask is like sitting on the table in the living room and shit. And it's like going to different rooms. And I was like, is this gonna happen anything here? And then, no, that's it. There's no after credit scene. It just ends like that with Michael literally getting obliterated. I think Mike froze again.
Yeah, this is fucking up bad. I don't know what the fuck's up. I might change rooms in a minute because it's like showing a little signal there to fucking.
I know I hate that the little bars, but yeah, I mean, I guess there is kind of a cool fight scene where she like slits his throat and then slits his hand like all the way up. But then that's another display of fucking Michael Myers' strength that didn't make sense why he didn't have it before, because he like reaches out and it's like strangling her, and then she starts having flashbacks of like they show like scenes from the previous movies.
I hate that part. Shit. Do it. Kill the nigga. You've been why this nigga dead for years.
Yeah, and then basically her granddaughter comes in and like
breaks his arm.
Breaks his arm, and then they nail it down and they fuck him up, and the cops come, and then that's when they like strap him on top of the vehicle and then they drive him through Haddonfield to the junkyard where they eventually bash him up. I don't know, man. I think that like that final like burial or whatever of Michael was. I think it would have been just cooler if like her and her granddaughter like dragged him out in the backyard and set him on fire or something like that. Like I
Yeah.
just think it was too much of a production to like
Like the
do.
whole community needs to fucking kill the nigga.
Yeah.
It's like weird shit.
It was just too much of a production. I think they just made it like it was too much grandstanding. Basically,
Yeah.
like they made a ritual out of it. You know, it was like a ritual to kill Michael. It was weird. Um, I just didn't think they needed to do all that. Uh,
Yeah, I don't like it either. And that
like I
corny,
said,
the black cop, like the colonel or whatever he is.
oh, yeah, cowboy hat.
Yeah, it does tonight.
Yeah,
Terrible.
we don't do that like around here. It does tonight. There's, I don't know. The kills are good, but there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of like goofy fuckery that goes on. I guess maybe I wasn't expecting too much out of it, and that's why I'm not like
I wasn't.
because Halloween Kills was like it was okay. The kills were dope, but that was about it. Like the storyline in that one I felt was weak too, especially at the end where like which they didn't really pick up where that movie ended because like at the end of that movie he gets up and he's fucking everybody up, remember? Because they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's
And then,
fucking killing everybody.
yeah, he's like killing everybody and then this movie just starts. Like there's no like he's just in the sewers now. There's no like it's weird. It's really weird. It was almost like it's like they took that from Rob Zombie where he's like living in the sewers and shit.
Just a pussy now. Letting it's not the same Michael Myers, bro.
Yeah, I mean he's an old man in this one, and they do like a face reveal kind of. There are a couple times where you can kind of, and he looks like fucking like decrepit as fuck. He looks like a rotting old man.
Yeah.
Like if you could imagine like he's just got like patches of hair and shit and fucking
gray hair.
He's all fucked up.
My nigga Doobie, shout out to Doobie, which we were talking off air, and he said it's like it's like a lifetime Halloween because of that Allison and Corey dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. You know, if you add a little bit of gore and shit, you know. Yeah, that romance part was like the worst part of the movie, I think.
I hated it.
Didn't make any sense at all.
And Corey, like, just letting those fucking nerds bully him. Like, these kids are younger than you, and they look like fucking straight pussies.
Yeah.
I'll take that kid's drumstick and stick it up his fucking ass. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he eventually gets his revenge, but like, and we didn't even talk about his parents. His parents are fucking insane.
Oh my
bro.
God. The mother.
Like, yeah, the mother is like a super like overprotective, overbearing mother.
Happen to your hand.
Yeah.
Good boys don't get custard or something like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, she's like, bad boys don't get custard for dessert. And it's like, what? Like, and it's just so fucking weird.
He's 20-something years old.
Yeah. And then his dad's really weird too. Like, I don't know who that actor is, but he's a like interesting looking guy. Like,
he was watching Hard Target, one of my favorite Van Damme movies. So shout out to that.
Yeah. The part where he came out and you got to see like what he actually looked like, I was like,
it's like a bowling ball.
Yeah, he looked weird as fuck. I was like, what the fuck? Where did they get this guy at?
The mechanic shop or something?
I know it's fuck. I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's definitely a long movie too. It's like almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, hour 50.
And it feels it. Minutes. It feels it because there's not a lot of like. I guess there is action peppered in, but like the stupid romance stuff just drags on.
It drags, bro. And sometimes you feel for Corey because he gets bullied, but then I'm like, no, I don't feel for this fucking idiot because these kids are pussy. You can just smack them around and be scared, probably. Like, I don't know.
That's the major problem with this movie. There are no likable characters in the whole movie.
That's true. You don't give a fuck what happens to nobody. You don't give a fuck.
I didn't even think about that till we started talking about it. But yeah, that's the problem with the movie. There's literally no likable characters.
I never liked Allison ever. She fucking sucks.
Yeah, the granddaughters that you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, like she would be the only relatable one if she wasn't so fucking stupid.
Yeah, and annoying as fuck.
And then Laurie Strode, like we already talked about Laurie Strode, like
I
what
don't
they've
like
done with her.
Rush.
Yeah, what they've done with their characters, fucking weird. Like I don't know, just and obviously Michael's like kind of in the movie, kind of not. But even then, you're like, he's getting his ass kicked and shit. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
I did just sue like a fucking pussy.
yeah, like how are you gonna root for this guy? And then basically all the other minor characters that they introduce, minus maybe a couple, die. So it's like the only ones I could think of that really lived were the parents of the kid that died in the beginning.
That's it, huh?
Almost everybody else dies. Like maybe the only redeemable character in the movie is that officer that was flirting with Laurie Strode. He might be the only character that's like redeemable, and he's literally on screen for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. You ever heard of a vegetable? Yeah. I don't know, dude. I like the kills, but it's kind of like Halloween Kills. I don't like the fucking film.
Mm.
I think it's
I
kind
was
of
the same
trash.
way with Halloween Kills, where it was like they kind of like trick you into making you feel like the movie is not terrible. Where they're like bro, we're gonna put in these fucking brutal kills and shit,
Yeah,
and it's gonna make you go holy shit. But then they just surround. It's like a turd sandwich almost. You know what I mean? Like you get the
it
bread,
is.
fine, and you got all the shit inside. Like
Couple of
it's
bites in, you fuck this, right?
yeah, it's I don't know. Like I don't hate it, but I guess that's just
Yeah.
because I didn't have like any preconceived notions of what this. I didn't even watch any trailers for it really. Before it
Neither
came
did
out.
I. I like the little snippet, the little short one.
Yeah.
Um, what is satisfying for me about this film, I could say, is the bullies getting that come up, and that's the best part. It
Mm.
was fucking dope to see that, and that fucking disc jockey was a dickhead, so I like to see that nigga get his comeuppance as well. But other than that, that's all I can really say. Corey is just a whiny little bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I cut my hand on chocolate milk. I'm gonna fucking cry about it. Whip that fucking ass, straight up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I
They could
don't
have
know.
made Corey like a badass that you were like, oh shit. You know,
Yeah, they
but
would have killed the kids early on.
yeah, instead they make him like he's kind of like in points he feels like a reluctant killer. Like he feels
Yeah,
like like he's killing because he's like weak, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he's killing people because he's weak, you know? Like he couldn't just go kick those kids' ass. He had to go fucking kill them because he's fucking a bitch. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it.
His dad gave the other kid the shotgun, and they
And
fucking
then he
shot the fucking idiot.
but killed him, but shot him right in the head.
Didn't even care. Like fucking
Yeah, like that Corey dude didn't even react.
kills his mom too.
Yeah, well, he kills his
Watching
own
the
mother. Yeah,
cooking channel and just stabs her ass. Nah,
yeah,
this is crazy, bro.
yeah, yeah. It's something else. Darcy, the mail girl from Joe Bob Briggs, is in the movie as well. She has a cameo. She's
Yeah,
the at the when he goes into the disc jockey place and that chick is standing there.
we're
She's
cutting the
like,
little ghost
yeah.
creatures out. Yeah,
That's her. She's called. I don't know if you watch Joe Bob Briggs on fucking Shutter, but she's Darcy, the mail girl. So she
is it like some like comedic show a little bit, and he hosts?
yeah,
I
kind
think
of,
Steel
yeah.
City, I think I know what you're talking about. I think Steel City was talking to me about that.
Oh yeah, I still City would know about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Just I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they. I,
End of the franchise.
yeah, but definitely the end of that. I mean, there's there's no way Michael Myers is coming back. Like after he got
No,
disintegrated, like there ain't shit that's gonna happen. Like after this, it's like they're just gonna have to reboot the whole Halloween series again because there's
which
no
we don't
coming back
need.
after that. There's no coming back after that.
I'm happy with Halloween 1 and 2, Season of the Witch. Rob Zombie first one I do like because it was like a dope story. I do like that. 2018's okay. 4 was okay. I hate the fucking mask in 4.
Yeah, they've had
5
some
not really.
shitty masks. They've had some shitty
Yeah.
masks. Um,
Like you said, your favorite's 2, right? From 81?
yeah.
Man, that one's hard. He puts that bitch's face in the fucking hot water, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
like the sauna thing.
yeah, it's just hard, bro.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I love that. I love that it's just like contained in that hospital.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
dope.
yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody pointed out. I saw somebody pointed out that basically the director remade the original 3 films in his own way. Like the first movie,
yeah,
Michael on the Hunt, and then the second movie is like takes place mostly in that hospital, like the second movie.
yeah.
And then the third movie, Season of the Witch, is like totally different.
Nah, Michael ain't even in the bitch.
Yeah, that's like what this movie is. Where like
Yeah,
Jason or Michael's barely in it, and it's like a weird genre kind of bend thing. I don't think there was that much foresight put into that, but
no,
it's interesting theory, I think.
yeah. So, in a nutshell, you don't hate it. It's just, what's your closing thoughts on this, Luke?
Kills are good.
Yeah, likewise.
Story is trash.
Terrible.
Acting is so. The script writing dialogue was pretty fucking terrible as well.
It was.
A lot of dumb coincidental things happen that like I talked about, where it's like, oh, they walk in right when this shit's about to happen, and that girl falls so fucking deeply in love with the dude in one fucking day.
Just loves him.
It's just a lot of like suspension of belief that has to go on for you to like connect all the dots and everything. So yeah. I mean, if I had to give it like out of like I don't know, what are we gonna do, out of 5, out of 10?
Out of 5.
Out of 5, probably a 2. 2
Yep,
out of 5.
that's fair. Yeah. My problem with it is that fucking love story and just not liking characters. You gotta like characters in movies, man.
Yeah.
And just the whole dynamic of Michael not being in the fucking film. Not
Yeah, you said you gotta like characters, and the character you're kind of supposed to like anyway.
It's Corey.
Is supposed to be a force. Well, it should have been Michael Myers.
Yeah.
This is the end of Michael Myers, basically, and like you're focusing on, like, if they had done this as the second movie, it wouldn't be as bad. But this is literally the last movie in your series, and he's barely in it. I don't know. That's weird to me.
It's fucking hella weird. So, Luke, anything you want to promote?
Samhain Ceremony, October 29th, Carl's Tavern, Indiana, SON, Noise 13, Dean, Nasty Ink, Clockwork E, Grim Smiles, Worm, and the whole Vile House crew. It's going to be a crazy show. LegionRealm.net, they got VIP packs and all that shit. It's going to be a dope show. If you're going to Hollow Wicked, swing by. It's going to be all that weekend. I think it's the same day they're doing some dumbass shit, but come down to a show where you can fucking actually rock out with motherfuckers. It's going to be dope.
Hell yeah, man. You're my boy. Just the thoughts on Halloween's ends. And for Mike Sears, Luke the Goon, we out this bitch.
Ooh, yeah.